Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a casino. This video is part 2 of a 2-video tutorial. If you haven't already followed part 1 along, in which we made pretty much everything that you can see behind me, then please do. Go back to the first video, you'll be able to find it in the description below. Watch that, follow it along, and then we'll both be on the exact same page. Here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. But not only will we need these materials, we will also need these as well. These are mostly to make the various banners we need throughout the build. So as we move into the casino, the first thing that you will notice is it's quite dark in here. There's a few things that we can do to alleviate this, so I think that we are going to add the structure of the roof first of all, as I think that that will solve a lot of our problems. So step 1, I want you to grab your red concrete and place red concrete underneath the areas in the casino where the smaller parts of the building extend out from the larger parts of the building. You can see where I've placed the red concrete there. Well, the red concrete wants to also join together at the back here, just going from left to right like so. And then we want to extend the red concrete all the way down into the ground, and we also want to extend this row to the right as well, extending all the way up to the top of the window frame, which we have on the right but we don't have on the left, so it will just go all the way up to the top of the ceiling, like this. So the reason that that is relevant is because we want to extend red concrete across the top of where we have the windows on the left and right like this. And then we are going to add some shroom light. So shroom light is going to be added. If we start on the left side here in this corner, we're going to leave a gap of 1, shroom light, gap of 2, shroom light, like this. Now shroom light is going to extend all the way to the front of the build, where we also want to have another row of red concrete that just sits across the top of this window section. So let's add in all of this shroom light. And in between it, magenta stained glass. So this effect is going to look really cool if you have shaders. If you don't have shaders, I don't know how this will look, but if nothing else, it is quite interesting. So we want to have this here and also on the opposite side as well. So the two smaller parts of the casino. So we can do this on both sides. Gap, shroom light, gap of 2, shroom light. Extend it from the front to the back, get that satisfying sound placing the shroom light, the nice reverberating sound. One of my favourite block placement sounds in the entire game. Place some glass in between it, and then that's going to look quite good. So not only do we want to have this on the left and right side, which has sufficiently lit most of the casino, we also want to have a similar thing in the middle as well. The only difference being, and it might be easier for us to first of all extend red concrete left and right of the entrance area. So red concrete, kind of similarly to what we did on the back there, red concrete left and right of the entrance area, extend the red concrete outwards as well, just again sort of similarly to what we did on the back like this. And we also have to box in the entrance too. So to do that, we'll just place a row of red concrete directly on top of the entrance, the glass and the terracotta, extend it 1 row forwards like this. We want to leave a gap of 2, and then we will join the red concrete together at the back like so. So we've kind of got like an interesting shape here really. And we're just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing, so leaving a gap of 1 from the edge, shroom light, gap of 2, shroom light, that satisfying sound, and we'll just extend it all the way to the back. So front to back to front, however you want to do it. Some magenta stained glass in between, and then that is going to look really, really good. And we are actually missing one of the main components to make this look ever so slightly better also. So once we have got to this point right here in which we have installed all of the lights for the casino, we're just going to head outside now we're going to come all the way up on top of the roof, and on the left and right side of the casino, we want to dig out the entire roof section, or at least the middle of the roof, not the edge of the roof, the middle of the roof. And on top of the glass and shroom light, we want to lay black concrete powder. So we want to do this on the left and right sides. We also want to do that on the center part of the casino as well, but we don't actually have to destroy anything, any of the roof. We can actually just destroy into the roof and just lay it on top and then exit the roof gracefully. Now that we have completed the roof, we are now going to work on the exact opposite area, the floor. First of all, we're going to fill the back of the building using spruce planks. This little area is where we would hopefully be collecting our winnings, should we have any. So that is going to be separate from the rest of the casino, hence the spruce planks. The rest of the floor is majoritively going to be a mixture of red concrete and black concrete powder placed in a checkered pattern. Now, once you have completely filled in the entire floor like this, you may choose to add a magenta wool rug that pretty much runs through the center of the casino, leading from the entrance towards the collection counter. It's up to you how big or how existent this is. You may choose not to have it, but mine is pretty well centered right in the middle of the casino. It's about the width of the walkable doorway, and it leaves a row of 2 checkered pattern on both ends, so do with that what you will. Once that has been complete, we are going to work on a little bit more of the structure of the inside of the build before we do some of the fun stuff like the games. So, I want to make a little bit more of the counter area. To do this, I'm going to grab smooth quartz stairs, and on the right side of the terracotta wall, I'm going to move 1 row inwards, place an upside down stair extending out from this block, left, and then extend forwards, left by 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to extend back, and that's going to be perfect. We then want to place glass on the corner parts of this area, so we want to place 2 rows of black stained glass pane extending upward on the 2 sides of this. So we want these 2 center blocks to be left alone, and then we want to flare this upper glass here on the left just outwards like so. So the next thing that we will do is place some red concrete across the top of this like so, and then we want to place a block of iron extending forwards, extend another row of block of iron forwards, add 1 on top, a row of red concrete on top like this, and then add red concrete to the left and right sides of this sign area, so like so. We're also going to reinforce the red concrete rows that we have on the upper corners of these signs, so it's just going to kind of help to separate the left and right side of the casino. It makes it feel a little bit more 3D, in my opinion. And once that has been done, we're going to place glow item frames on the left and right sides of the iron sign, with lanterns hanging underneath those 2 sides. Once that has been done, we're going to come inside here and place some block of iron for the ceiling part of the actual inside of the sort of kiosk. And then we want to have sea lanterns built into the ceiling to provide a little bit of light. The casino is actually quite nice and bright. And there we go, that's just a nice little bit more of the structure complete. We're also going to add red concrete above the windows that we have pretty much on all 4 of these sides. So on the back part here, we want to add a row of red concrete directly above this bay window here. Same on the front. And we even want the same thing on the back, even though there isn't a window here. So we want the exact same red concrete, however. And now that all of that has been done, I think it's time that we do actually start working on the game. So I'm going to work my way over onto the right side of the casino. The first thing we want to make is a blackjack table. First of all, we're going to find the very center of this wall here on the right side. It should be fairly obvious, hopefully, where the center is, but it will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks on the left of it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks on the right. So once you've determined the middle, from this center block, leave a gap of 1, place a cartography table on the ground. Left and right of the table, we want to place moss blocks, so 1, 2, and 1, 2 on both sides. We then want to place moss in front of the cartography table, left and right, upside down spruce stairs extending left and right of the moss. We then want to use oak signs, and we want to place oak signs in front of the moss, like this, and also on the sides of the table, like so. And we're also going to place end rods in front of the left and right side of the table where we have these stairs, and also in front of the center of the table, leaving a gap of 1. Black carpet on top of the end rods. We're going to stack some sea pickles left and right of the cartography table to look like chips. And then we're going to use an activator rail on top of the cartography table. It kind of looks like somewhere that one would be able to stack chips, or something a little bit ambiguous that you can kind of like use your imagination for. We are then going to stack item frames on top of all of the remaining moss blocks, and later we will add cards to these, but we've got a bunch of banners to make for all sorts of different reasons. We're going to make them all in one go and place them all in one go. But next, we are going to make a roulette wheel. So, the roulette wheel is the same width as the blackjack table and is placed directly against the magenta wall that we have on the ground here. So, if we line up with the edge of the table against the wall and place a black concrete, red concrete, black concrete extending to the right, with an upside down spruce stairs in front, and then we need the spruce slabs as well. So place one of those extending out from the stairs, and then extend all of this one row backwards, and then alternate the red and black concretes behind the original row, like so. We're then going to place dark oak trapdoors around the concrete portion of the roulette table, like this. Then we're going to place rails in a circular pattern on the right side of the table where we have the spruce. And we are going to stack some sea pickles on some of the different coloured parts of the table. And we also need a stone button. So the rail is the wheel itself. The stone button is the ball that would be spun on the wheel. The red and black concrete is the actual, like, where the numbers would be, where you would place your bets on what number is going to come out. And the sea pickles are once again chips for those bets. So there we go, roulette table. Now we're going to make a couple of slot machines. So the slot machines are placed 2 rows away from the inward bottom of the red concrete pillars that we have on the front and back of the build. So we leave a gap of 2 and then place either a warped or a crimson plank. On top of the plank, place a black concrete and then the corresponding plank on top. Place an item frame in front of the top plank, and then warped signs around the edge of the black concrete. We now have to devise a way to actually place a painting so that we get a 1x1 painting in front of the black concrete. Then leave a gap of 1 in front of the slot machine end rod with a black carpet on top. That is perfect. Next, we want to make the exact same slot machine but using the opposite set of blocks. So coming to the back of the build, leave a gap of 2 from the same sort of starting position as we used on the front, and this time we're going to place a crimson plank, black concrete, crimson plank, item frame in front of the top. Make it so that we place a 1x1 painting in front of the black concrete. I am specifically looking for that painting. And then crimson signs around the black concrete. Perfect. Then leave a gap of 1, end rod, black carpet on top. We are going to be adding some banners to the item frames, don't worry. What we could also do as well is add a lever to the build that would actually look quite good if you like that. So the lever could perhaps be placed down here or to the side, maybe at the top, to make it look as though that you can actually like pull the slot machine, and that is what would set the wheels spinning if these things actually did have wheels. But you know, you've got to use a little bit of imagination here. I think that the lever might look good, it might not, it's kind of a personal choice, I think. Last but not least, we are going to make a poker table. So to do this, we actually want to place 3 spruce slabs extending outwards from the top of the bottom of the slot machines. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and destroy the first 2 blocks. Extend these slabs backwards, 1, 2, 1, 2. We then want to place blue wool on the inside of these slabs like this, and then string in the middle with blue carpet on top, just like this. We're then going to place oak signs around the edge of the table where we have these slabs. So, just around the edge with the slabs, nowhere else. Perfect. We're going to add seats, so these are going to be opposite the blue walls, end rods with black carpet on them, as per usual for the casino. We're then going to add item frames in front of each one of the 4 seats, and I'm realising that maybe we want to have a blue carpet in the centre as well, or rather a blue wall instead of a carpet. So we're going to stack some chips on the table using some sea pickles, and there's also different coloured chips, so I did consider adding some like yellow candles and some red candles or whatever candles. It kind of looks like chips. I think these are perfect, the sea pickles are, but it's nice to have a bit of variety as well. And later on, we will be placing some cards inside the item frames, and that will kind of pull it all together along with the immersing kind of like ambient decoration that we have. With all of the games made, we now have to add some minor details to the casino to help immerse ourselves into the build. So, the first thing that I want to make is some cash machines. These are made where we don't have a window on the back left side of the build. So we're going to leave a gap of 1 in this wall, place a light grey concrete. Gap of 1, grey concrete. Place the corresponding shulker box on top of the concrete, with then the corresponding carpet on top of the shulker box. We want to place item frames in front of the shulker box, with diamonds inside, stone slabs extending out from the bottom, with then activator rails placed sideways on top of these slabs. Perfect. I now want to come towards the kiosk area here. First of all, I'm going to place an item frame with a diamond inside of the item frame. And then right of this, I want to place a little potted plant, a flower pot with an acacia sapling. Along this back wall, I want to place 3 light grey concretes. We might even go 4 actually, I don't think it'll be too crowded. 4 light grey concretes right in the middle. So extending across the back here, I figured that we kind of want to have like maybe like a light grey shulker box, light grey, and then stack some chips up here just next to it, so a bunch of sea pickles. And then in the corner here, I'm thinking we want to have like a potted plant, so maybe we'll use a terracotta for this, like a cyan glazed terracotta with some leaves. Acacia leaves seem to work quite nicely. And then I want to place the corresponding carpets on top of these shulker boxes. And then item frames, gold ingots, diamonds, and then we can literally just place these in front of the shulker boxes. So these can be like lock boxes where the money is kept that of course we would distribute to the customers of the casino. And then I think that looks pretty good. We could add another potted plant to this corner, but I don't think that is necessary. I think that that's kind of perfect the way it is. And speaking of adding potted plants and stuff, we want to add that stuff to the area above the doorway. So some cyan glazed terracotta, acacia leaves, flower pots, acacia saplings, We're just going to add this kind of just in the back here. So I don't actually know whether I want to have it up in front. So I don't know whether I like it better like this. Red concrete might be better if we're going to fill this. So like this, maybe? Because then it kind of like matches the front a little bit. And then have... Although I kind of like... Maybe it would be better to place it in front of it. So the idea is this basically, just flower pot, gap, couple of flower pots, gap, flower pot, place some saplings in here, and then maybe behind, maybe this is where we could go. Behind that, we can have some terracotta with some leaves on top, and that way we kind of get like a nice 3D effect. It adds a little bit of a green, it adds a little bit of interest. I quite like that. We're going to grab amethyst cluster, and also large amethyst bud, and we are going to place these on top of the red concrete overhangs that we have for, well, mostly the window areas. Big one in the middle, slightly smaller one to the left and right. And speaking of satisfying sounds, coming back to earlier, the amethyst clusters. Beautiful. So now that we have placed all of that, ladies and gentlemen, we have rapidly approached the point in which it's now time for us to make... We should really have like a thunderclapping sound effect. The dreaded banners. My least favourite part of every tutorial, but in this case, we 100% need. I thought it'd be nice to make them inside, you know, really get into the atmosphere. So we're going to start off by throwing a loom on the ground, and the first banner we want to make is kind of like a dollar sign. So, green banner, yellow dye in there, and first of all, we have to make an S. So, horizontal row of yellow across the top, the bottom, and diagonal row, top left corner to bottom right corner. Grab that banner, take the yellow out, put green in, and place a green boudoir all the way around the edge of it. Yellow dye back in there, and place yellow dye from the top to the bottom, straight up the middle. And that is our little dollar sign banner. We'll place these once we have actually made them all. We have to make a couple of card banners. So the first card banner is going to be an empty playing card. This is so simple to make. Red banner, white dye in there, and we're looking for the the white boudoir indented pattern. And that will look like a playing card that is laying face down, which is perfect. We can now make a few different playing card patterns. So the easiest is the diamonds. So if we place a white banner in there with some black dye, we can literally just add the diamond pattern. So that's one. We can do the exact same thing, but use red dye. So that's two. Another variation of a card is to place the white banner in there with some red dye. Start off with the diamond, put it back in, put the white banner in there, and then place the... Where is the... Here we go. The white inverted chevron, and there we have a heart, which is perfect. So, not only can we put these on the wall, like, this will make really good wall decoration, even though we're kind of like reusing the diamonds, it still looks really, really good regardless. But we also need some kind of like random playing cards as well. So we can use these, but you can make some kind of like ambiguous looking cards by placing white banner in there with some red dye. And if you just add red dye to the top left corner and bottom right corners, so the Chief Dexter Canton and the Base Sinister Canton, that will look like a playing card. Even if you just place it in the top left corner as well. And of course we can do the exact same thing with the black as well. So we can, I mean, I'd place it in the same place because playing cards are typically quite homogeneous. So we can do the exact same thing. That's looking pretty good. And, well, that's pretty much all there is to it. We don't really need too much variation, especially with these because they look, you know, they look like something. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's grab all of these. We'll get rid of the loom. And we'll place the most important banners first. So the green banner that we have will be placed at the top of the slot machines, and I think that that really makes them. We'll also place these left and right on the sign that we have for the collection area. We're going to place the more card-looking banners, so the diamonds and the hearts, hanging above the tables on the left and right side of the build. So literally, they want to hang at the same level as the red concrete, right in the middle here. So we'll place a heart in the middle, gap of one, black diamond on the left, gap of 1, red diamond on the right. Perfect. And then we'll have the same thing on the opposite side. Maybe we'll do it a bit different. So black diamond, red, heart, perfect. Of course, we can use the red banners as well, but I really like the diamonds. I think that the diamonds look really good. I really like them. They look absolutely perfect. And I don't think it matters that we have too many diamonds. So when it comes to the card tables, we only have 2 of them to worry about. You can place a mixture of cards. So I'm thinking for Blackjack, we'll just have a bunch of open cards. So we'll just have like a heart card here. We'll just have like a diamond here. But what also looks really good is, as I mentioned, kind of like the ambiguous looking sort of... There we go, so the ambiguous looking sort of cards. I mean, they do just look like cards. We could even have like a face down card here. And make sure that they all face sort of like different directions-ish. And it looks really good. So over here we could just use literally just all face down cards. And it still looks really good. So it's completely up to you how you kind of want to dispense these out. But... ladies and gentlemen, we've actually completed the build. That is the entire build complete. Good job. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And of course, if you want to make any more builds by me, check out the City Builds playlist, linked down below in the description, and I'm sure at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.